Here's an example of how we align to this formation. Now, this is what our kids will get. We type this up every week to every formation they do, every formation that they have. We call this formation slot queens. The back's in a pistol, the QB's under center here. And I like to put their top run plays and how many times they've done it and their top pass plays. Right. So in this game, we've got notes below on what we want our kids to do. This was a team that ran a lot of split zone. That tight end right there, that Y, he's off the ball. This is like an 11 personnel type situation. He's a Division I football player. He was 6'5", but we thought based on what they did, we could get to the quarterback when they ran boot and all that kind of stuff. So, excuse me, it's 100 degrees here in Phoenix, and I found a way to get a cold yesterday, so good for me. But like I said, we're a check defense, so we're going to run our coverage that we call dodge, where we're man on one side and we're playing cover two on the opposite side. And what we're going to do here is only if it's under center. We're going to have our will backer. That's like our nickel space backer. He is protected, as you can see. We put our 3 technique to that side. To the side of that will backer, so kind of away from the tight end. And we did that because our space, our nickel, our will backer right there does not have a gap in the box. Okay, so in this scenario, in this game, this is what we did. This is how we chose to defend it. Will's going to apex and he's going to creep up and walk. And if they ran split zone, he was going to be like an extra hitter. And if it was a pass, they ran a play action pass boot where the outside receiver ran a vertical, the inside receiver ran an out, and then you're going to have a backside drag with that Y. We thought, our kids, our will linebacker is a pretty good athlete. We sent him off the edge, and he was able to get a sack on that play. Fast forward to a different game. As you can see here, still same formation. Now it's gun. Again, we set our 3 technique to the open side, to the open wide receiver side. Again, purpose behind that is it frees our will backer up so that he doesn't have a gap in the box. So we felt comfortable enough to play it that way. And again, it's all based on what they like to run. So in this scenario, when we make our strength call, you see the different letters there. I like to distinguish. I don't like saying right end or left end or right D tackle, left D tackle. We have a 3 technique. That's our tackle. Our nose is typically our 1 technique. As you can see here, we put them in a 2 to kind of protect that B gap a little bit more because we know that gap is a bubble in our defense. Our blood is our weak side defensive end, and our anchor is our strong side defensive end. So when we make a strong left call in this scenario, that's really just for the front. The Sam, the Will, and the Mike, are going to be going to have to be the smart ones and determine, okay, what's the formation, because they don't necessarily go always to the side of the strength call. So, the Mike has to be kind of a 2-gap player here. If he gets action to what we made the strength call will be, he's going to have to play that strong side A gap. If we were to get like outside zone towards that Y, now the Mike's going to become a B gap player on the weak side. So we ask a lot of him. The Sam backer, if the play is going to the left, he'll be that cutback weak side B gap player. And if it's coming at him, he's going to fit outside to the D gap. All right. Again, we're in a different coverage. As you saw in this last one that we already went over, we were in Dodge. Now we're in Hummer. Hummer's cover 4 for us, dodges that man side on one side and then the cover 2 on the other side. Right now, here's a third. Here's a different formation. This is what we call spread. As you can see, we set our strength call here to the side of the B back in this situation. And the reason for that is they like to run a lot of power G. And with that power G, that B back's going to kick out our anchor. And so we wanted that 3 technique there so that that tackle can't just go straight to the mic. All right. And I'll show some clips here, but how we want to defend this, we'll probably end up wrong arming that power block by the fullback to our anchor and spill it to our unblocked defender, which is our will backer. So he's going to line up about 3 by 3. In that situation, he's going to key the B back. And if he sees power action, he'll fit right up outside, wait for the thing to bounce and make the play. The Mike's going to get a down block from the center. The guard's going to pull, so the Mike's going to either fill or scrape over the top of that double team, that combo block from the guard and tackle on our D tackle. Again, we're in a different coverage. We're in Mercedes on this situation. Mercedes to us is cover 3. Reason we don't have a ton of Division I athletes at the DB position, so we're a lot more comfortable playing zone, and so a lot of our stuff is predicated to how we can help those guys in that situation. All right, now as you can see here, same formation, but now we've set our strength to the formation and not the B back. We felt comfortable here. If they're going to run ISO, the B back's going to go right through that B gap. Our will linebacker is going to have to take that on, turn it back into the mic. Again, we're playing cover 3 behind it, which allows us to keep 3 backers in the core. Typically, when we, from a foundational standpoint, if there are 2 backs in the backfield, we want 3 backers in the box or near the box, right? So we've got really a 7-man front here to defend against this formation. All right. Our 4-3 defense, we call Texas. I don't know why. This is what we've been doing since, before I got there, which is a long time ago. And then we have one adjustment that we make to a tight end called Texas stud. So I'll show you that stuff here with our front. If we see a 2-back 21 personnel I formation type team, we don't get a lot of that anymore. I used to get a lot more of that back in the day, but not so much now. Our Mike is going to line up in a 0-0 technique. We add a 0 to it if he's off the ball. So that's a 0 tech. If you're a D lineman, it's a 0-0. If you're a linebacker and you're playing off the ball, we set our strength call to the tight end. So our 3 tech's going to go to the right along with our anchor. Our nose and blood, once they hear the strength call, are going to go to their left and align in there 1 technique and 6 technique to that weak side. If we have 2 backs in the backfield, the will's in the box. Now he may be 3 by 3 outside. He may be, in a 60 technique like he is here. It depends on, the data that we get after we break ourselves down. All right. In this defense, we have 3 bubbles. We have 1 bubble in the weak side B gap. We have another bubble in the strong side A gap. And then we have another bubble on the strong side C gap. When we get to the linebacker play, I'll talk about what those reads are for those linebackers. But typically when we get a 2-by-1 formation with a Y, we're going to roll our snake down. If it's an inline tight end, he's going to line up 5 by 3 outside that anchor, and he'll be like a force player for us on that strong side. All right. And we'll go 1 high and play cover 3. There are other coverages that we can run out of that if we want. Here is Texas stud. This is typically how we defend this stuff because it eliminates a bubble for us. All right. And there are times, depending on how good the tight end is, that we may bump that anchor to a 7 and then play the Sam just outside of that tight end. But all we're doing here, the box really hasn't changed other than the anchor has now bumped down and the Sam has walked up outside the tight end.